Hi friends, welcome back to Arc Tutorials. This is CSS full tutorial series for absolute beginners. In today's episode, we are going to learn about the borders. How do you set borders for elements in CSS? This is part 7 of the series. If you have missed out on the first 6 parts, please make sure that you go back and check out all the episodes so that you have continuity in your learning and you master CSS with me. So today we are learning about borders. CSS border properties allows us to specify the style, width and the color of elements border. Whenever you want to set a border for any element in the page, we will set the border property. Now there are different attributes that border can take. It can be a dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, ridge, inset, outset, none, hidden. Okay. So these are all the different values that are allowed for borders. Okay. So I'm going to show that now in hands-on. Let's get started. So to see that, I'm going to simple create a section again and call it border example. This is a section for setting borders. Okay, now nothing crazy, just a simple section. You can throw in some paragraphs, h1 if you want, image, table, whatever you want to add, you can do that here. Your HTML would simple look like this. There's no border right now. So let's use this class and style the borders. So we will say border hyphen example. Now the property is border followed by the width. How thick you want the border to be and what is the different style you want. So you can say solid, you can say dashed, etc. And then the color of it. So you can give a named color for now just to see the output. So you can see here it's 2 pixel wide and you have a solid line and it's red color. Now let's change that. I'm going to make it 20 pixel to show you how it would be height. So that's how you can increase or decrease the thickness of the border. You can even make it whatever amount you want, that's up to you, but this is just an example. Right now, what are the different options of setting the styles of different borders? So I showed you one solid. Now there can be dashed. Right, so now you see this is dashed. Right, now you also have dotted. So that's how it looks. So these are all the different options you can pass: dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, etc. Okay, now I'll show you two more. So now this is double border, double layer, and then you have groove. So this is more like a thickness along with the dark uh, shade with the thickness. So yeah, so that's how you set border. Now you can independently also set, you can say border radius. So you can say here border width, right? And if you don't want to use the shorthand, you can also set individually and say border width should be 10 pixel. Okay, and then you can specify border color. Okay, and border size, style. Now here I mentioned you how you want that. So either you use a shorthand method that I showed you, or you can individually specify the property. That's also fine, but in most places the best practices is you define it in one go, so that way you have all written in. This is a shorthand. So you can see here, either you mention each property separately, that's also okay, or you can use a shorthand and write all the properties in one go. Okay, doesn't make any difference, the output would still be same. So these are all, this is how you set background for, sorry, border for any element in the page. You can set it for an image, for table, for link, list, form, paragraphs, heading, any element in the page. All right. So I hope that's clear. Now you would be able to set border for any element in the page. So that's your homework. Go ahead, add some borders, add some different styles, and okay, one more variation I'll show you before I leave you. If if you don't want to show a border, right? Now there are some cases in JavaScript. Let's say on hover you will show border, or on mouse out you don't want to show border, right? So you can also specify hidden. So now you see it will not apply the border. Why? Because first it applies the border, then the statement says border hidden. So it will be hidden irrespective of whether it is there or not. So to hide a border, you can use border hyphen hidden. But if you want to show the border, don't add this. Just add the property of width, thickness, type of the border, and what color border you want. So those are all the different variations of border that you can apply to an element. Alright, so in the next episode, I'm going to talk and touch base about the different options of formatting the text in CSS. Very interesting. As we progress, you would see that we'll start mixing all of that, and that's when it will become more interesting. But take baby steps since you're learning and make sure that you get it right. Thank you so much for joining in this episode. I'll see you in the next episode where we learn about text in CSS. Thank you.